right. Awesome. Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching Made to Fate this evening, the Artema campaign. We are running a little bit late behind technical issues, still getting used to Streamlabs, OBS, and all that. Not exactly, or is somewhat finicky. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So just a quick recap of last session prior to starting the stream. Tristana basically already went over a lot of the notes, but right now, currently, you guys are starting your first full day waking up aboard the Selena, the ship headed for kind of the central area of Artema. There were two other ships, one that went north to Glacial Mount, and one that went south to the
Greenspire.
Remember, Greenspire is the one you guys are headed to, right?
Yes.
Yes. Oh. And then one that's
I hope you would know.
Yeah. There was a
Just
third
drive
ship
the boat.
Yeah. Third ship headed south to kind of the tropical island of
Salanor.
Salanor. Yep.
Sorry. Yes.
No, you got it. Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm like this.
I just want you all to know that I critted my test roll. So
Oh, we both did it.
all downhill. from
Me
here.
too.
Oh man.
So
What was it? Was it acrobatics? Just roll out of bed and do it.
Jump out of bed.
Oh god.
I'm sorry, Mike. Please continue.
So you guys, oh, it's okay. So you guys woke up the next morning aboard the Selena after your first day aboard. You kind of got acquainted with the workings of the ship, what your responsibilities will be. Zeph, Holfi, you've been recruited to help in the kitchen. You're essentially going to be cooks aboard the ship. Valsina and Rowan, you have elected to be surgeons, doctors. Rowan, I think you're the assistant, and Valsina, you're the primary surgeon. And then Tristana, you've basically, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've kind of opted to be the farmer kind of aboard the ship, right? So you're growing a lot of the...
I'm not even supposed to be on the ship. I just started growing fruit.
Yep. And so you've kind of set this garden up aboard one of the masts way up high, the great view of the ship and the ocean, the Siren Ocean around you. You went to bed the night before after your first day aboard the ship, a day of drinking and getting blasted. You slept through the night, rather uninterrupted sleep. However, there was kind of this started as a distant kind of wail in the back of your dreams, that as the night progressed and your dreams progressed, the wail got louder and louder until by the time you woke up in the morning, it was a loud pitched scream, and you all woke up looking at each other like, did anybody else hear that? So that's where you currently stand. You hear footsteps kind of shuffling around outside your room, shuffling on the stepping around on the boards above you. Sounds like people are up for the morning, making their way about, doing their whatever it is that the crew has to do in this morning. You hear a voice from outside your room bellow out, everyone up to your posts.
We have posts.
Yeah,
Well, you
I gotta
oppose.
I have to head to the kitchen, and I pray you don't have to actually perform surgery on someone. This is going to be a shit show.
I'll be
I'm-
interested to watch.
Did anyone sleep well?
No,
No.
hammocks aren't the best for the back.
Agree to disagree. Did anyone dream?
I heard some screaming, quite a bit of screaming.
I thought it was just the boat, the ship, maybe straining with the waves, but
That's quite a strain.
Sure.
Something's wrong.
All hands accounted for. I see we're all here. Not these hands, no. I mean, although, which would also explain the scream.
I don't think it was that kind of scream. It was unsettling. You remember that poem you found?
Yes, it's not here.
He took him down.
Who took him down?
The gnome, the fixer-upper guy. I don't remember his name.
Fix it, Felix.
Fix it.
Yes, we'll go with that.
Felix von Luckers.
Felix.
He's the boatswain aboard the
Just
ship.
quality work. You know what they say about Von Luckers. It's gotta be good. So we took down the poem.
Right. I guess everyone's a critic. Why? I mean, he had nothing better to do.
He didn't like all the scratches. He thought it was kind of just destroying the ship, so.
Yeah, he seemed to deeply care about the ship.
Or maybe he didn't want the new crew getting scared.
Maybe.
Catching on
pretty-
to something.
And does
It's pretty
anyone
clear we're all going to die.
I mean, eventually. Everything dies eventually, but it doesn't have to be today.
I'm not sure how I feel knowing that you're going to help me as with, the cooking with that attitude.
Salt, fat, acid, heat. How hard could it be?
acid?
Oh, like a vinegar.
Yeah.
Have you never
Presumably.
tried grog?
Well, vinegar is a base, I thought. Or is it an acid?
No, it's an acid.
I think it's an acid.
It's an acid. We might be in trouble.
Oh God, we're all going to die.
I don't know about you, but I kind of want to get breakfast before you guys go into the kitchen.
You should not, because we need to go in the kitchen first. In fact, I think we're late.
Yeah, let's go.
So, yep.
Okay.
All right.
So guys throw on your overcoats or whatever it is out of your room with the hammocks rather quickly. You make your way up one level to the mess hall. And there you see, rows of tables, and you kind of see like a galley kitchen towards the back.
Hey, I'll head into the kitchen.
Yeah, as well.
All right.
What
So
do
you
we
guys
got
make
for
your
food and such?
Sure, yeah. So you guys make your way into the kitchen. There you see a plump male dwarf, a worn chef's outfit. He's moving around kind of frantically, looking around. He looks over. Oh, you two.
Hi.
Yep.
Oh, well, we're running behind. Now you listen here. You listen good. You have an important job aboard this vessel. What is that job, fellas?
Feed everyone.
No.
Listen to you.
Idiots. No. If your job was to keep these people fed, I'd simply have you make a pot of oatmeal in the morning, roasted fools. Your
Yes,
job is
chef.
to keep these men and women. No one else. Of tasty cooked meals.
Happy to oblige.
I'll get to. Next down. Oh, I'd be snappy about it. The crew has to get to work soon. Off with you now. Back towards the
Did you
back
hear
of
the
the
other
kitchen.
part?
I caught salt pork, and that was about it.
We just grab whatever sounds right for breakfast.
I,
Eggs. Right? You said eggs.
yeah, I didn't say eggs, so I'm kind of curious about that.
All right.
So at the same
I thought
time,
you said green eggs as well. Wait. Oh, hey, Rowan. What great ears.
at the same time, you guys have made your way up to the kitchen. What are the rest of you doing? You don't. Your job as surgeon is kind of just be available aboard this vessel, as far as you know. You don't necessarily have a post.
So, does that mean that we can just kind of roam the ship and get our bearings? We
If
don't
you choose, yeah.
that.
Okay.
but I'm kind of like bouncing on my tiptoes.
Okay. So where do you
You're a
guys want to go?
morning person.
Where are you checking out?
Just look and go down. Are there, as far as like where we are, is there just one way of going up kind of thing, or is there?
Back of the ship. To the right is basically just doors leading down a hallway and then a dead end wall. To your left, down a ways, some more doors, quarters on the left and the right, and then for what looks like a ladder that leads you basically up and down in the ship using decks.
Okay. I just look left, look right. I'll go right.
Okay. You turn right. There's really not too much down here. You have a few doors left, both just kind of ajar currently, and one door on the right.
What are you looking for?
I don't know. Just anything.
Are you not supposed to be somewhere?
I think if somebody starts screaming, I'm not exactly sure just yet, but
I'm gonna trust your intuition. So whatever,
where do you want to go?
wherever you are.
Well, I'm gonna just peek at the doors that are already ajar.
Okay. So you're gonna do a stealth check if you want. If you're trying to do this stealthily.
We'll be like two heads poking in, like. I'll help.
14.
All right.
9.
9. All right. So you two, you take a peek in the first door on the left, and as you kind of push it open just a little bit of a squeak as it Rowan, you get a glimpse of Born with his back to you, 1 foot up on a chest at the foot of his bed as he pulls on a large boot. On the other side of the room, you just barely get a 4 other people who are also getting on their boots, and these are all kind of very beefy, burly looking people.
Do I get a sense that they are part of the crew, or are they part of the people that are traveling?
Gonna do a perception check.
8.
You're not quite sure.
Can I try the door that's closed?
Yeah. So the door to the right is closed. You can go and try to open it if you want.
I'll just open it.
Okay.
I'll try to.
Yeah. You're just trying to jiggle it open.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's locked, so it's not opening.
That means there's something good in there, right?
I think so. I think they said there's 2 locked doors we shouldn't go into. I think we found one. This is exciting.
Let's listen.
Okay.
Do we hear anything?
You hear somebody snoring behind the door.
It doesn't sound like treasure.
Sounds like he might need some help. That's not very healthy sleeping.
Well, you're the surgeon's assistant. Should we break in and check on him?
Tempting, but maybe not on my first day.
I mean, you never know when you're gonna need to save a life.
Yeah, if I try, I don't think I could break it down. Kind of.
No, I don't think I could either.
I can pick the lock if we really want to see.
Than that.
All right.
Okay.
And from behind you, you hear a stomp. Aye. What are you two doing there? Turn.
Where we need to go to our post, but nobody gave us a location.
Standing imposingly over you is this 7 foot tall dragonborn person you saw. Very broad-shouldered, kind of just looming over you. What's your
Onion?
job?
Uh,
I'm going
What's
to
your-
banana in a bucket.
in this room, I mean, they're sleeping. I was trying to see if she was sleeping in that room.
Gonna do a deception check.
I am growing a banana in a bucket.
You're you're growing what now?
I'm going.
13.
Where? Here?
Wait.
Mhm.
Deception,
Worse. 6. Alright.
So he looks back over at you, Rowan, and just kind of squints a little bit, shakes his head. He goes, "Well, I think you know you shouldn't be going into that door. Why don't you make yourself available? If you're truly the surgeon's assistant, you'll be needed sooner rather than later."
Why is that?
He kind of just turns his back to you, and then as you say that, Velsina, he just turns back. Something's always happening aboard this ship. Just be available. He turns, and then behind him, as he starts to walk away, the 4 other people that were in the room with him also kind of strut off behind him as well, almost in marching unison.
What do you think that means?
I think it has something to do with that poem.
I wonder if the last group of Inscripted even made it to Artema.
Well, we saw all the marks. Do we know how long it takes to how many days to where we're going?
Well, we all had a different amount of marks above our hammocks. You know, those that had marks. So I wonder which one of us had the most.
I feel like he doesn't like it.
I'm going to insight check Zeph.
You're right.
Got a 9. I don't know. I think he likes you. I think.
I don't know. Because he seemed so interested in it, and I don't think he liked it.
Weird. Maybe we'll find a bigger bird for him today.
Oh, they're still here, I guess. Yep.
Okay. Let's get some sunshine.
So you guys are heading up above decks.
Yeah.
So yeah, you make your way up there. So moving back to Holfi and Zeph, what are you guys doing? Yeah.
Just said I
I
should.
mean, I imagine the rest of the ship could as well. Let's just get that.
I'd be happy. Maybe some eggs and leeks or something. I don't know.
Salt pork, some sort of spices, I think. Something like that. Onion.
What do we have here?
I'm pretty sure he said onion. He looks like an oniony guy.
We have, let's see, I think this is cinnamon. Can't put cinnamon and eggs together, right? That would be. No.
Well, yeah, if you're making French toast.
Oh! Good idea. Do we have bread? Bread.
Yeah, is there bread, Mike? Are we looking at
Is there?
what
so you
what
look
things do we
around.
see available to us? Is probably
So yeah, as you look around, people are starting to line up for food.
we've gone downstairs to go.
There's like
We're still
5 or 6 people
downstairs.
in line now, and you guys are looking around. You don't see any bread. No.
Well, I thought we went down 2 decks to get all the stuff.
Did you? Are you down there?
But I think that was our intention. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Then never mind. Climbing down the ladder to kind of the bottom deck, and you look around. What exactly are you looking for?
Salt.
Spices,
Okay.
eggs.
Okay. Yeah, gonna do an investigation check.
Oh, any kind of butter or oil as well. I'll do as well.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Yeah, and 22.
You guys are able to find. You do find some salt pork. You find kind of items. So you are able to find some bread down here, some salt pork. You find some butter and some oil.
Oil, yeah. All right, let's get on. I'm a little gnome with a 7 strength, so I've got my arms loaded up with like bread and eggs, and I'm just kind of like, it's all
As
big
you
and
so as you make your way back, I'm going to do a perception check for me on your way out.
on the way out.
On the way out of this deck.
10.
Okay.
18.
18. So Zeph, as you're making your way out, kind of amidst all these packed with food items, as you make your way through, there's gaps between them. You see kind of a silver glinting between back behind them.
Hopi, see, check this out. What's this?
What? Hold on. I can't.
I know. Me too. I knew, but look.
Hold on. What do you have? What is that?
I know. So I start kind of leaning over, trying not to spill all my crap, just kind of trying to get a closer look at whatever caught my eye.
Nope.
All right. So crates here and food items. You kind of have to shuffle your way around to what you see. Do a acrobatics check for me.
15.
Not one. You're trying it too. So Zeph, you're able to kind of like shimmy your way. You kind of like one leg over one of the boxes, another leg over the other, and you get over. And then behind you, you just hear this loud thump, 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 thump.
Did you not?
This whole feed just knocks over a whole tower of food items onto the
That's
ground.
irresponsible of them to have stacked those so high.
Eggs, man. That's eggs. Dude, Chef is going to kill us.
That's not all the eggs in there, right?
I hope not. All right, so we're over there now. I'm trying to find whatever the silver glinting was again.
Yeah,
Now
so
I'm probably
Zeph,
covered in food.
Yeah, so you see as you kind of pull off like some salt pork, raw salt pork off your shoulder that just fell on you. You just kind of pick it off and throw it to the ground. Along the wall behind these walls of crates, along this wall behind these rows of crates, the wall is runs maybe half the length of the ship. So I would say maybe it's about 45, 50 feet long.
Wow.
You see kind of block after chains as well, just kind of hanging there. And this is the silver that you see glinting.
Okay. I have a feeling that people may be, kept here against their will for some reason or another. Maybe, possibly. This is troubling.
All right.
All right. Well, let's
I
pretend
we don't get this food back up there pretty quickly. The chef will have us in those chains.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go. Up our mess. Try to head back upstairs.
And so, Holfer, are you taking a moment to kind of try to clean up the mess you made, or are you just leaving it?
Yeah, I'm going to try and.
Okay, you're just going to take
back down. And,
somebody's going to come down looking for food, and it's just going to be like a mess of like salt pork and oil just dunked together inside one of the crates.
Who is driving this boat? All right.
It's a workplace safety issue.
Yeah.
So before I start like heading up, as I'm kind of picking up my things, can I kind of look at the chains a little more closely? Is there anything interesting about them? Or is it just like plain old boring chains with the cuffs hanging from them? As boring as that could be, like do I intent was it's more do they appear to be? I don't get the feel that this is playful in nature. Okay.
Yeah, you go and do an investigation check.
Okay.
Okay. You don't know much about chains, but from what you can tell, these look like pretty well made. Like they're not old, they're not rusty. They look like they're in really good condition, and they look like they've probably been used.
Okay. All right. Yeah. How many voyages has this ship gone back and forth? Maybe you get some crazies every now and then, like the halfling at the beginning. So maybe that's what's going on. Maybe that's what these are for. We're not necessarily gonna end up here for sure. Definitely, right?
Hopefully he's still like cleaning up some of the leftover stuff, and like he
let's
hooks his
get
head up
back
and looks at you. He's got like bacon on his head, salt pork on his head.
fat back. All right. Yeah. Let's get back upstairs.
Okay.
Back up to the
All
kitchen,
right.
whatever it is.
All right. So yeah, so you make your way 2 floors up, 2 decks up, back to the mess hall. So switching
meth
back
hall?
to the mess hall.
Let's cook, Jeff.
So going back to
Like,
He said it, not me.
yeah.
It's not a crack house, it's a crack home.
Go back. So Valsina, what are you doing? A little bit. Yeah, we
Doesn't
lost
bode
her.
well for
oh,
All right.
So you need to talk.
oh.
Yeah.
Don't need.
Well, at least we can. We're doing this every week now, so we can always
Yeah.
just.
Why don't you close fan? For a start.
Yeah.
Can you close whatever you're streaming Twitch in? Not, I mean, watching Twitch in, yeah.
There we go. Look.
Neat.
Okay. So what were you doing, Valsina? Yep. So on the main deck, you also see Triskana and Rowan. Kind of they appear up there as well. A lot of the crew are just kind of making their way about, adjusting the sails. People are busy there's a couple, young crewmen just kind of mopping the deck, making sure everything's clean as the captain stands by, just kind of observing everything that's going on. Just kind of looking busy. You look over, and the captain's looking at you, and his face just like.
Because he saved his life yesterday.
Busy, yeah. All right. So then back to Triskana and Rowan. What are you guys doing?
Standing on the deck we're on, looking down into the water. How far down do you think it is?
I'd say maybe about 30 to 40 feet down.
Okay. So I have a spell with a range of 30 feet. So if I can't reach it, I'm probably just gonna like gently hop over the side of the railing and like hang with one hand and like reach down because I'm gonna use shape water to pull up like a bucket full of water. Like it looks like that shape, and I like bring it up.
Okay.
And then once I'm on the deck, I kind of make a motion, and you see like salt bottom of it, like
Can
the
you
salt.
Can we back up for 1 sec?
Sure.
Can you, so as you leap over the side, hanging on closer to the water, can you do an acrobatics check for me?
Yeah, that'll be way more hilarious if it doesn't. 8.
Okay. Yeah, so you leap over the side as you try to get closer to the ocean water below, hanging on to and then suddenly your hand just, you don't quite grab on, even though you spent your whole life on ships like
I'm
this.
not used to this ship. The wooden.
You, and you fall into the ocean below.
Oh no!
Well, I was gonna. Am I there? Because I was gonna. Can I like try to before she falls?
You can. It happened pretty quickly. So as her hand slips away.
Feather fall on myself.
Okay. And that slows your fall. So if you want to go ahead and do what check would that be? I guess.
Dexterity save.
Yeah. So you're trying to catch her. Yeah, just do maybe athletics. Well, that'd be strength. Yeah, dex save.
So with Featherfall, I'm going really slow now. What? I'm like, oh fuck.
Athletics check. Yeah.
Is that with advantage or just normal?
Just normal. Yeah.
Normal. I'm rolling really bad. I got
Rolling 5s.
I know. I got a 6.
Okay. So
I do have like Australian advantage for climbing slippery surfaces. Is that this or is that something else?
Well, this is the sheer side of a ship, right?
So
Yeah.
as in you attempt to climb a sheer or slippery cliff, avoid hazards, that kind of thing. I'm with whatever, but you were the one that gave it to me, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Rowan, you try to you see this happening as Triscana casts Featherfall on herself, and you try to run up and you try to grab her hand, and you try to reach out to her, give her like a high five. She falls to the ocean below.
Thanks anyway.
I'll
see you in a minute.
So Triscana,
it's not what I meant to do. My bad. Did it look cool? I'm still falling.
And I just shout, "Strange woman over!"
I'm still falling somehow. Can you toss me a rope?
I have a rope.
Splash as you land in the ocean below.
Oh.
The water is pretty calm.
Slow
so
splash.
it's not super dangerous.
Okay, great. I don't get left here for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I'll try and grab the next rope that comes down.
About to try to throw it over so she can grab it.
Okay. Yeah, throw it overboard.
And what check is that? Or
you just throw it. So I'll just say you throw the rope overboard. There's really no check for that. And then about 10 feet in front of you currently, Triscana.
Oh shit! I'm gonna try and hustle to catch up.
Yeah.
Spend some time.
Do a strength check for check, I guess.
You are kind, thank you.
Catch up to it. Yeah.
This is the one I know how to do on account of being an Astra. Funny.
All right. And you grab onto the rope. You just start climbing up it. Yeah.
I feel so stupid. Do you think the humans saw it?
Okay.
All right. When I'm where I was before, like where I meant to be, I'll like lean down and try and magically pull some water up with me.
Yeah.
And just like heave it over the deck. Climb the rest of the way up.
Yep. So yeah, you made it back up to the ship. Yep.
Thank you. That was really embarrassing. Did you know I grew up on a ship? I grew up on a ship.
I know, but did you know that they have a bucket and just like, get some water?
I'm not used to it.
Zeph, I'm so glad we found all this spice and salt down here and everything we need.
You go with what you know.
Well, next time warn me before you.
Okay.
That was scary. I didn't like it.
I'm sorry.
You look over and you just see the captain just like, I don't need that aboard my ship. All right, back to
real quick. I just want to like clean up the water that I threw overboard, and I like scoop that into like a magic bucket shape, like still as I'm like.
Yeah, you see a couple like the deckhands who are mopping the deck, just like now leaning on their mops, just glaring at you like we just cleaned up that spot.
I know.
All right. Go ahead. Sorry. What'd you say?
Any water?
I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm fine. Thank you. Good looking out, Doc. I have never seen that happen in my entire life. Not a lot of Astra drown.
Back over to Zeph and Holfi. You guys made your way back up into the mess hall. At this point, there's about 10 people in line waiting, looking kind of disgruntled, a little unhappy that they haven't been served breakfast yet. Walking up with like these crates of items to be cooked.
Okay, coming through. We got the food. Make way.
About time. Where have you been? We're hungry.
Food, a lot of steps, and I'm really small. We're doing our best. Here we go. Let's go.
Got a long day ahead. We're ready to eat. Come on.
Yeah. We're getting to it. Let's talk and more cooking.
So you guys make your way back into the cooking, the kitchen part of the mess hall. You don't see anybody there. You don't see the chef, the cook. You don't. Oh, what's his name? Nira Harlan. What do you guys do?
Okay, let's get this pork fried up. Slice it up thin.
Do I see an apron?
Yes. Yeah. Lining the walls. Yeah.
Yeah, apron up.
With my hand,
Is there one my
water.
size?
Huh?
Is there one my size? So do I have to like fold it up? And tie it under. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
So you guys
I
put
start
these aprons on.
cooking up the eggs.
All right.
I'm on French toast.
All right. So go ahead and do survival checks, the two of
Oh,
you.
fuck me. We're going to die in the goddamn kitchen. That's what's going to happen.
19.
Okay.
Just remember, don't put water on an oil fire. Here we go.
Yep.
14.
14. Okay. So you guys cook these meals up. You have a rather large toast and salt pork. It takes you about 15 minutes. At this point, the line it's long, and you put this out there, and they just blast through the first and salt pork that you have, and you need to cook some more. Do another survival check for me.
Okay.
Fuck.
A lot of the crew members are not looking too happy that they had to wait so long for
7.
breakfast.
6.
Okay,
Oh no!
No!
We only have like a little bit of bread left. We probably should have really rationed it out.
We're doing our best here. More eggs.
So you do cook another round of food. There's some eggs here, some salt pork, and some French toast. However, you used the pans you had used before, which were still on still burning. We're still much hotter. So you kind of scorched this round of food.
Roll initiative.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's us, Holfi, and then 10 other people.
At this point, a lot of the people everyone that was in line has eaten, and they're all just kind of like wiping the griddle off their, the leftover grist off their beards, and they get up, and you kind of see like some of them, maybe about half of them, like shaking their head, looking kind of disappointed. You overhear a few people chatting, like, "Was that what they're going to be serving us aboard this with these new cooks here?" And they just kind of walk out.
Sorry, come again.
See you at lunchies.
You get the
We know
sense
you
that
have a lot of choices aboard the ship, so looks like you made the wrong one. What? I'm looking at Holfi, who's not amused at all.
At this point, like Hope is just looking at like I'm just picturing like a disaster in the kitchen, just like bits of batter all over the room. There's like eggs on the floor.
Yeah, I guess we have to clean up now. Just in time for lunch.
you guys get the sense that the morale on the ship probably went down a little bit today.
Oh, is that a thing we have to care about? Oh
We're
no!
gonna be, that's bad news for us.
All
You know
right.
what? The stream has improved considerably in the last minute. All of us. Yes. I
Yeah.
think it wasn't just. I don't know it was you, Isabel. I think maybe it was something going with Discord. Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Okay.
yeah. Like, well, what? Do we have anything for the menu?
Ah,
Because I don't think we should make French toast for lunch.
eggs again? I don't know.
Check.
Can I come in and eat? Is that allowed?
Are you coming in now? I mean,
Maybe.
I didn't have breakfast yet.
Okay.
Rowan,
Yeah.
So
hello.
Rowan, you make your way back down to as most of the people are leaving the mess hall. Did anybody else go with her? Triscana?
Sure.
Jacina?
I think I was in that second round of disappointed people.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so Rowan, you make your way in there to what is now an empty mess hall, tables littered with dirty dishes and plates, utensils. You see Rowan and Holfie in the far back in the kitchen portion of the mess hall, just kind of looking at each other, starting to untie their aprons, just chatting and like shaking their heads a little bit.
Oh, hey, Rowan. Hi.
Do you have any leftover breakfast?
Well, I think we severely underestimated the appetite of some of the people on board the ship. And as you can see,
It looks pretty bad down here. Kind of smells too.
thought we'd capsized.
It was a bloodbath.
Bloodbath. The pans one?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I help him out a little?
With cleaning? With
Yeah,
cleaning
I'm
up?
not doing anything, so.
Yeah, sure.
You just
So-
bring me the dishes from the hall itself, and I'll scour them.
Yeah, we're just scrubbing. I'm wiping down surfaces and stuff.
All right. Yeah, so you guys, you're just taking these dishes and you're cleaning them. You don't need to do any sort of check or anything for this. Yeah, and it's taking a while because there was quite a few. You probably had in total maybe about 30, 35 people down here eating breakfast in total. But it takes you a good, say maybe about, 45 minutes to clean all these dishes, utensils, and the cookware and everything. There is leftovers, Rowan, if you wanted to grab a bite for yourself as well.
Yeah, Hopefully and I didn't stop for a bite either, I don't imagine. I mean, any good chef was likely sampling as they went, but maybe not quite enough for a meal.
Yeah. Can I try to make a better meal than what's left?
Sure, yeah.
I'm sure you do so visibly so we can tell that you're not at all pleased with...
I'll get my bird out. No, I'm just kidding.
You grab one of the aprons off and you tie it around your neck. Going to do a survival check so you can cook something tasty.
Is this common that cooking is a survival check?
Yep.
Just
It is for me.
for you. Okay.
It's important aboard the ship, so there needs to be
Yeah,
something
clearly.
associated with
Yeah,
it.
makes sense.
So garnishing is performance.
No, I had
First,
one.
that was a
Moved
6.
it. Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
I have
6?
10. 10. It was a
10. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're able to like fry up some eggs and some toast, some bacon. It's not like the best meal. It's marginally better than what Rowan or what Zeph and Holfie cooked before. It's enough. It tides you over. You're full.
You guys
And
want
with
some?
Sure. Thanks.
and at this point, Neo Harlan, the cook, walks in, beef, burly dwarf male. How'd it go?
It could have been worse.
And who's
Everyone
this?
was-
Could have been worse.
Everyone was fed.
A
Oh,
solid first round,
this is Rowan.
but a pretty rough second. Rowan.
What's she doing in here? Is she cooking?
She
It came
she
in
was a
after
little... Yeah, you go ahead, Holfie.
I'm sorry. She came in after the rush. She was feeling a bit peckish, and she offered to help us as she's not currently occupied with her duties as a surgeon's assistant.
I'm not offering my services or anything. I just wanted to. I was bored. I'll be out of here now.
We run a tight ship here. You eat when the rest of the crew eats. We have to get ready for lunch now. I'll
Great.
clean up the rest. You guys go see if you need any help up aboard deck.
Oh, okay.
So moving back to Triscana and Valsina, what are you guys doing?
Cool. So for anybody like looking around the deck, you see like a big puddle of water in the shape of a bucket just like float up because I'm like hanging from the riggings. Like the plants I've magically grown grow so fast that you have to water them more often than you would like a regular plant. So I have to water them a couple times a day. I have like 6 buckets of apple tree, or not apples, banana trees and orange trees that I'm sprouting, and they're like little tiny saplings today. So I'm just gonna spend a couple hours like making the trip to get like water out from the ocean, pulling the salt out of it with shape water, and then like hauling it up to my buckets.
So you spend probably a good hour in the morning making this routine trip down the mast, pulling up this water, extracting the salt up the mast, doing whatever it is Astra do to grow food aboard their ships.
We could go 2 buckets at a time then. That'd be great. I didn't want to use... That'd be great. Thank you. I don't want to use the humans' water. I know they only have so much on board. Yeah. Okay. I'll just haul up a bunch of buckets at once, and just after I have them all laid up on the deck, I let Valsina do her thing.
Okay.
That helps because it means less chance of me falling off the side again. I think the wood is much slipperier than it is on the Gorana. It's not me. Cool. And also because I'm nosy as I'm like spending my day in the sun above board, I'm also eavesdropping on whoever walks by.
Okay.
Get up.
Yep.
The mast get taller.
What'd you say?
I said, did the mast get taller?
Trees aren't that big yet.
No. Oh, hello. Ugh. I don't know.
This is fun. Have you done a lot of sailing? I think you're gonna like it.
At this point, oh, sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
There's a lot more than I think these people realize. I think there might even be more than I realized. The Siren Ocean is massive too, and I've seen a lot of it, but we haven't explored all of it. I love that. It's cool that you're excited, though. I don't think there's a lot of excited conscripted. Most of them just seem kind of sad and scared. I'm excited, but I don't have to be here.
And you guys said you're also kind of listening to see if you overhear anything.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? So
We're
you're gonna
nosy.
do a perception check as you try to just kind of like overhear any sort of conversation that's happening.
15. Nice.
Okay. You. Yeah. You see Thalia, so the first mate, the female dwarf, the sister of the cook, Nira Harlan. You see Thalia Harlan standing over by the captain, Captain Archibald Crowley, kind of just chatting, looking kind of stern and serious. Thalia is looking down at her feet, just kind of like dragging her foot along the planks of the ship. And you just overhear her saying something about someone she lost. The captain just kind of looks at her and just nods his head and just kind of pats her back a little bit and then resumes his kind of like stern form. You see Thalia just kind of take like a deep breath and resume her stern form as well. They kind of survey what's going on the ship. The sister of the cook. Yep.
I think the captain's actually a lot softer on the inside than he lets on. Did you see it? Do you see him pat her back? mean, seal or wayfind, depending on what you're doing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's not vicious. You saw what he did with a halfling yesterday, but still, he's not all bad. He knew I charmed him and he didn't throw me overboard, so that's something. Maybe.
Okay. So Triscana, you Valsina, have you done your thing with the water and the salt? Okay. And Triscana. Okay. Yep. Triscana, what do you do?
After she purifies it, I climb up to my buckets and then I use shape water to pull it five cubic feet at a time. And once I have it like hovering in front of me, I just like make some motions and I pull some out and to go bucket to bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to do it several times because a lot of it's down there. But
Yep.
I'll do this through the course of the day.
Okay. Yeah. So you take several hours to do this.
It's peaceful,
like
meditative.
Yeah, you got a nice expansive view of the ocean, the ship below you, the people, the crew of the ship, kind of not quite like ants, but maybe like squirrels scurrying about the ship doing their job as you look out. It's approaching noon. Off in the distance, as you're looking out at the seagulls, the birds kind of flying in the air, the gentle rippling of the waves, you see something that catches your eye. The shimmering of the sun on the ocean seems to be occasionally obstructed, what looks like every 5 feet or so, out from the ship, maybe about 200 feet. You can barely make it out.
Like 200 feet away and
200 feet away from
closing.
the ship, the sunlight shining off the ocean looks like it's being obstructed by objects floating in the ocean, about 200 feet out.
I like stand up and kind of like lean in closer to try and figure out what it is I'm looking at.
Going to do a perception check.
I foretold that I was going to roll a 16 on that, so with my modifier it was a 19.
Okay. You notice that these are perhaps animals of some sort floating. Massive wake of them just floating in the ocean out ahead. Maybe fish, maybe, you're not quite sure.
Is Thalia still on the deck?
Thalia is, yes. Yeah.
All right, I'll shout down to her. First mate! Something in the water. Point.
Thalia goes to one of the other masts, hooks onto it, starts climbing up towards the top, pulls out whatever it would be called. Do we have a name for it? One of the telescopes? Eyeglass. Pulls out an eyeglass and looks at the direction at where you're looking.
Oh yeah, I have one of those. I grew up on a ship.
And she's got her hands up on the eyeglass, and the hands are blocking her face, and you're looking at her, waiting for her response. And she pulls the eyeglass down, and you just see kind of this like look of shock on her face. She goes, "Captain, there."
Does it look like she recognized it?
Yeah. Well, she recognizes that it's dead fish as she yells that out to the captain.
Do I think that she has seen something like this before?
Do a perception check.
Or perception or insight?
Do an insight check. Yeah, good call.
12.
You're not sure if she recognized this as being something she's seen before, or if it's just that she recognized that she'd seen what looks like approximately a football-sized field worth of dead fish floating in the ocean.
Damn.
Starboard, Captain. 200 feet. And Captain comes up to the edge of the ship and also pulls out her eyeglass and looks, pulls it down, confirms, and the captain turns to a half-elf female who's currently standing at the wheel to the ship, the steering wheel, basically. And this half-elf female just kind of nods and starts to turn the boat towards this floating raft of dead fish.
They're turning towards it.
They're turning towards it to go investigate, it seems. Yeah.
Cool.
So it takes about 10 minutes for the ship to head over there. Yep.
I'll climb down because I want to get closer to it too when we get there.
Okay. Okay. And what's everybody else doing? Where is everyone?
We had just come out topside, hadn't we, Holfie?
Yeah, assuming that we finished the rest of the dishes from the morning rush, I guess we head up topside.
Okay. Yeah, so you're also on aboard the main deck as well. And you kind of see this commotion going on, people looking over the rail, the starboard rail out towards the ocean, just keeping an eye on whatever they're approaching. So about 10 minutes pass, the ship makes its way over, and the ship just kind of like makes its way into these small icebergs of dead fish. The fish kind of just parting as the ship cuts its way through them. The Thalia says to Archibald Crofley, "What do you think it is, Captain?" And the captain turns to you, Valsina. Any idea? Go do a perception check, or maybe you can do a medicine check, perhaps. Yeah, do a perception check. Yeah. No, do a perception check because right now you're just looking at them. 18. They look like dead fish that are floating. You don't see any like blood or anything in the water, which is interesting. They don't look diseased from what you can see. They don't look cooked. They just look like floating dead fish. Sure.
Are these like deep water fish or close to the surface type fish?
Do a nature check.
Ooh, 6. I don't know anything about fish. I've never been on a ship before.
Yeah, no. Yeah. You know a lot about sailing, and you know a lot about the ocean, and you do know a good bit about fish. All you can tell is that it's not just one type of fish. This is a lot of different type of fish that are dead and floating here. So as far as you can tell, it could be deep water, shallow water. So
would I have ever heard of anything like this happening before in the past from anything I've read or?
Describe to me where you grew up.
Grew up in Dervos, in a city where it was fairly well educated. Spent a lot of time in libraries and everything, learning how to. Oh, not getting away too much, but yeah, just well educated and everything.
Sure. Did you
spent a
grow
lot of
up?
time tutoring people. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you grow up inland? Were you coastal?
I would say grew up more inland, but traveled across Dervos.
Okay. So yeah, you're not familiar with any sort of particular affliction that might cause this. From your perspective, it seems like it almost seems odd that there's no sign from what you can see of any sort of damage, like these fish are just floating here dead like this.
Have I ever seen this happen before?
No.
Okay.
No.
How difficult would it be for me to like reach down and get some of the water?
Yeah, so the water's about 30 feet down. If you guys want to try to, I think, Valsina, this is what you were trying to do. If you want to try to get some of the water up, or one or two or whatever of the fish up, you can try.
Yeah, I want to taste the water.
Okay.
I can get some for you if it's 30 feet.
I wouldn't try to taste the water.
I'm going to taste the water.
No, it has to just be water. But I'll lean over very carefully at the railing, and I pull up like an orange size sphere of water, and I hand it to Zeph.
All right, so I kind of like cup it and just kind of sniff it. Does it smell like anything?
It's going to do a perception check.
17.
Okay. It smells like salt water. Nothing smells off about it.
Okay. All right, it's salt water. I just chuck it back overboard.
Okay. Yep.
Lightning striker.
Splash. What did you say, Valsina? Sorry. Yeah, so it's about 30 feet down. So there's a like Rowan mentioned, there's a rope with a bucket. So you lower this rope with the bucket over, and you're able to kind of like shimmy it to try to just barely, like kind of like you're fishing. You scoop up one of these fish. That's maybe about, I don't know, what, 2.5 feet long. It's not a super small fish, but fairly well sized. And you pull it back up aboard deck.
I don't know much about fish, but does that look like a freshwater fish to you?
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't, but does it?
Does it look like a freshwater fish or a saltwater fish?
How much do you do a nature check, I guess, to see how much you know about
Yeah.
the difference between the two?
I know that
19.
Yeah. Or animal handling, I guess would be it. Yeah. I don't know.
I did.
You did 19 on nature check. Okay. So, Zeph, you definitely recognize this as being a saltwater fish.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that theory's dead.
like it was just a boating ship that capsized. You know, the like hull got tipped
They
over.
magically transported here from somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So the captain walks over to you and goes, just kind of pushes your hand away from the fish. To my quarters, bring it. And he takes out his knife and cuts the rope from the bucket. Follow me. And he walks to his quarters. Okay.
Can I act like your assistant and just follow you too?
Or
Okay. All right. So you guys all make your way over to the captain's quarters. Within the captain's quarters, he has a desk on which he kind of, when he walks in, and you guys walk in, he shuts the door behind you. On the desk, he pushes aside all this paperwork, these maps and everything, pushes them over, and they fall to the ground. He goes, "Here, cut it open here. Let's see what we have." Just no, it doesn't look like it's been cooked. It looks like it's just dead. Yeah. You don't see any evidence of damage or anything. Yeah. Go do a medicine check.
Sometimes it's hard to tell where her character begins.
20.
Yeah,
you don't.
Witch doctor.
You,
Or geologist.
yeah, you don't see any sort of damage to the gills, but you do kind of catch briefly. Did one of those gills just move a little bit? Did it just move?
It's a zombie.
Zombie fish. Kill it. Stab it.
Okay. So you kind of flip it over. Are you cutting it open, or are you just... You're dissecting. Okay. Okay. Are
I
you
love how
dissecting
you-
this thing?
You always
Or
assume Mike
you're
knows
not.
this like you do.
Yeah. Have you cut into this thing yet? Not yet. Okay. You flip it over and you look at it in its eyes, like you're making like eye contact with it, and you're looking for what? Like as a... Mhm.
Looking for a soul.
The eyes don't look clouded over.
If it was killed.
And with that, as you're staring at its eyes, you feel it start to move a little bit in your hands. And that's weird. Is it getting bigger? What the hell? As it starts to grow and transform into this red, beastly, fish-shaped but four-legged creature, pops out of your hands, slips out of your hands to the ground. It's about 4 times the size it was before. I need you and Rowan to roll initiative as it growls at you. All right, we'll pause there. Can we go to the Be Right Back screen? Okay.
Darn it, 6.
Oh shit.
3.
Did anyone see that coming? Because if you say you did, you're lying.